Ladies and gentlemen, States is about to enter a period of highly volatile and potentially dangerous weather. In just a few days, a powerful large-scale storm system will form and move from the western states toward the central part of the country, bringing with it a series of extreme weather events, including heavy rain, damaging winds, large hail, and even tornadoes across a wide area. At the same time, meteorologists are warning that the tropical regions of the Caribbean are becoming active again, with the possibility of a strong tropical wave developing into a tropical depression and then a storm as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico within the next 7 to 10 days. The interaction of these atmospheric systems is creating a chaotic weather setup for the United States: cold air, tropical moisture, and hot, humid air colliding to form a complex and volatile picture for the week ahead. At present, the core of a deep low-pressure system lies over Utah and the western Rocky Mountains. This is the remnant of the same storm that produced the rare phenomenon of tornadoes in California just days ago. Now, a mass of dry, cold air from the western highlands is descending and clashing with warm, moist air moving north from the Gulf of Mexico, forming a powerful convergence zone that has made the atmosphere highly unstable. From this afternoon into tonight, scattered thunderstorms and severe weather are already occurring in Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, and Oklahoma, with gusts exceeding 70 km per hour and large hail reported in several locations. Over the next 24 hours, the low will slowly drift eastward, forming a new center of circulation over New Mexico and Colorado, the trigger for the severe weather outbreak expected this weekend, when thermal, moisture, and dynamic conditions will all align for violent thunderstorm development. According to the U.S. Storm Prediction Center, Saturday will mark the first major peak of this system. Intense convective clouds are forecast to erupt from Arkansas and Missouri, stretching through eastern Oklahoma, northern Louisiana, and southern Kansas. Meteorological models indicate this will be one of the most significant severe weather outbreaks in mid-October, with the entire south-central U.S. under a high-risk zone. Key ingredients such as low-level wind shear, abundant humidity, and strong upper-level jet dynamics will combine to produce every type of extreme weather, from damaging winds and hail to potentially strong tornadoes. Arkansas and southern Missouri are expected to be the epicenter of risk. Model parameters suggest tornadoes of EF2 strength or higher could form by late afternoon and evening, if storms remain discrete rather than merging into a continuous rain band. A mini outbreak of strong tornadoes could occur. By evening, these storm cells will likely merge into a large squall line racing eastward across Tennessee, Kentucky, and southern Illinois. Throughout Saturday night, these regions will face wind gusts between 80 and 100 km per hour, intense lightning, and torrential rainfall capable of producing flash floods. Experts are advising people to avoid traveling at night due to reduced visibility, slippery roads, and the risk of widespread power outages. On Sunday, as the main storm system moves into the Midwest and Ohio Valley, conditions will become even more turbulent. The storm's core will intensify while progressing slowly, drawing in upper-level jet streams exceeding 150 km per hour, fueling more convective development. From Tennessee and Kentucky up through Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, severe storms and strong winds will persist throughout the day. Around the Great Lakes, especially Lake Erie and Lake Michigan, gusts may surpass 90 km per hour, toppling trees, damaging roofs, and cutting power to many communities. Experts note that this storm is particularly dangerous not only for its tornado potential but also for its vast reach. Tens of millions of Americans across the country will experience its fierce winds. By Sunday evening, the storm center will move toward Lake Ontario and the Northeast. Coastal states from New Jersey and New York to Boston will see gale force winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour, force 8 to 9, 10 to 15 feet waves, localized flooding in low-lying areas, and beach erosion. Inland areas like Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York will experience a sharp temperature drop to around 14 to 15 degrees Celsius, upper 50s degree F, as cold air rushes in behind the storm. As the new week begins, One might expect calmer weather, but right behind this storm, meteorologists have identified another developing low over the Rockies. Between Monday and Tuesday, strong pressure gradients will bring intense winds to the northern and central plains, including the Dakotas, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Gusts could reach 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, posing hazards to travel and outdoor activities. Some regions could even experience a full windstorm, with sustained high winds over large areas. Meanwhile, the new low in the west will begin pulling moisture from the Gulf, potentially forming yet another storm system soon after the first one dissipates. Experts are warning that the U.S. is heading into a non-stop weather cycle, with back-to-back episodes of rain, thunderstorms, high winds, and storms likely to continue for at least 10 more days. Meanwhile, in the southern Atlantic, the Caribbean tropics are showing signs of awakening. A strong tropical wave that has just passed the Lesser Antilles is now moving deeper into the central Caribbean. According to the National Hurricane Center, the chance of tropical depression formation within the next 7 days has risen to about 40 to 50%. This region, which had remained quiet through much of the summer, now has favorable conditions. Sea surface temperatures about 1.5 degrees Celsius above average, abundant mid-level humidity, and significantly reduced vertical wind shear. In addition, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, MJO, is shifting into a favorable, rising phase, enhancing convection and storm formation. Models suggest 3 possible scenarios. First, the system may curve north toward Cuba and then out into the Atlantic with limited impact. Second, it could track westward, bringing heavy rain to Central American countries such as Honduras and Belize. And third, the most concerning, it may enter the Gulf of Mexico, where warm and humid conditions could allow it to rapidly strengthen into a Category 1 or 2 hurricane before nearing the U.S. mainland. While there is no immediate threat, forecasters urge residents in Florida, the Gulf Coast, and the Caribbean to monitor developments closely in the coming days. Both European, ECMWF, and American, GFS, weather models show signs of a weak low forming near the Antilles within 3 to 5 days, moving slowly northwest and possibly strengthening near Jamaica. Some runs even suggest the system could approach the Yucatan Peninsula before entering the Gulf. However, experts emphasize that it is still too early to determine the final track and intensity, as even slight shifts in atmospheric steering currents could alter its path completely. Still, the fact that tropical activity is reviving in late October is noteworthy. Historically, several powerful late-season hurricanes, such as Wilma in 2005 and Michael in 2018, originated from this same Western Caribbean region. Given these developments, residents across the central and eastern U.S. are urged to take precautions now. Stay tuned to National Weather Service alerts. Keep mobile devices charged, identify safe shelters in case tornado warnings are issued, and avoid travel during nighttime storms. Those in Florida and along the Gulf Coast, even without an active storm yet, should begin preparedness measures early, checking generators, stocking clean water and food, and securing outdoor objects to minimize damage if a storm approaches. Looking further ahead, international climate centers agree that the U.S. weather pattern will remain extremely active through the rest of October. The upper-level jet stream continues to oscillate wildly, repeatedly sending Pacific troughs across the continent. Each low-pressure system pulls cold Canadian air southward, clashing with Gulf warmth and moisture to produce a chain of storms. This indicates a highly dynamic October marked by sharp contrasts, swings between hot, sunny days and sudden cold snaps. Climate experts also note that the Arctic Oscillation, OW, is trending negative, which could allow cold polar air to plunge south earlier than usual, a sign that winter may arrive sooner and more severely than expected. In summary, the United States is entering a prolonged phase of atmospheric instability. This weekend will bring the first major storm outbreak, with tornadoes, high winds, and hail threatening the central states. Early next week, new lows and strong wind events will follow, prolonging the unsettled pattern. Meanwhile, the Caribbean is poised to become the next focus of attention. with a potential tropical system developing by late month. This is a crucial time for preparedness and vigilance, staying informed, heeding official warnings, and taking proactive safety measures. The coming days will test the nation's resilience as nature unleashes its full power. More than ever, constant updates, community awareness, and preparedness will be key to keeping families and communities safe through this turbulent stretch ahead.